Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindi. I am at Simply Cindi. I am a psychic medium. I have a lot of tools in my basket. And astrology is something that I love. I picked up when I was a little girl. So I like to share that with you. My astrology is probably a little different than you've seen because coming from a medium, you know, they kind of talk to me, but it's in a different language. It's not the same as here, right? Or it's not the language that we have here. Anyway, so I'm going to go over the September 2024. That's just a little bit about me. I have had people, I've been on YouTube for a long time. And so there's a lot of people you'll see in here and watching my videos that have been with me for a long time. So I'm going to go over the September forecast. Finally, I'm so excited because we have a couple of things that are going to be going on, but some really, really good stuff, especially for you Earth signs. It does, so I'll just say for everybody, but like you're really going to feel it. And you Earth signs have had it really rough. And so I know that, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is Pluto going back into Capricorn, but we're at that 29th degree, and this is where he gives you the gifts for all the hard work that you've done. So, yes, we still have things going on out in the world and in society. But you guys, because of retrograde season, it's been so hard this summer and we've had a lot of stuff going on. And when I was studying the month of September, I just had such a better energy of not being held back, right? So like the I think the theme would be flowing of energy. Like we're just gonna have things manifested, gifts coming, uh, conversations are gonna be easier. The things that you've been really working hard for and trying to decide about this summer, some of you way longer than that, but like especially this summer, that's all like going to be coming through. We're going to be letting go, we're going to be releasing. So I think that most of us by now, even water signs, have learned how to work with releasing stuff. So but it's like as soon as it's not like a big release, it's like things that sort of are finishing up before. And this is the other thing, if you happen to have your chart, or if you can get your chart really quickly, this is going to help you a lot because you can see it personally what's going to be happening to you. And I'll kind of go over that and explain that with the transits that are happening. So um, I feel a lot better. I feel like I can breathe. I feel like we've got Mercury getting out of retrograde, which is our communication, right? And which is our processing, right? And so, and we have Venus moving into the sign that she loves, her home sign. We have lots of good stuff. We've got a grand trine coming. So, especially for you earth signs, again, it's going to be awesome. So we can smile and laugh and enjoy and like have some fun. It's not that we weren't having fun, it was we were so focused. And that's it happens in the summer because we have retrograde season. And usually in retrograde season we're like fighting so hard to have anything come through. This time we had things come through, but we had choices to make, decisions to do, and we had to like leap a little and have faith in ourselves. And it was a little different. It was a little different retrograde. But now I'm like, whew, we can breathe and we can go into the fall. We're going to have a really good time. It just gets better from here because as we go through the months, the bigger planets that are retrograde are going to begin to like release, right? So when they're releasing, it's no more about just us inside, it's about the actual manifestation. And we've got these planets at, so if you've never seen me before, I always say the planets like bring us the stuff about 20-23 degrees is when they start like bringing us the stuff, right? Whatever that stuff is, whatever that planet's doing. And so we've got a lot of planets towards the end of the houses or the end of their signs. And so we've got a lot of like stuff coming. We've got things happening. I wouldn't even say things happening because we've had things happening. It's just it's tangible stuff, money, job stuff, like just stuff that we have been hoping for, praying for, having faith in ourselves for, right? And this brings me joy because I had to come to terms with this a long time ago. You know, coming like I don't want to be doom and gloom. I don't want to be, um, you know, because spirit or our higher selves or the universe or God, love, whatever you want to call that, always says you don't take it so seriously. Sometimes you got to laugh. You got to enjoy. You didn't come. You didn't come to this life just to work and have lessons. Maybe you can say that the lesson for some of you is to learn to be happy. Like that's the lesson. And that's what that's what I've always heard is like you have to lighten up. You have to have some joy in this life. You're not here just to work, 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 work. You're here to enjoy. You're here to like your higher self, source has said, look what I've given you. Look what you have. Look what you've created. Enjoy it. It doesn't always have to be a problem. It doesn't always have to be an issue. It doesn't always have to be a lesson. It doesn't always have to be a thing. Just enjoy. Like I'm I'm not asking you to do it every second of the day, but take some time and enjoy, relish in those things. And so I think this is the time for that. Like this is the time. We have just been talking about that on the last live that I did. Was saying we need to laugh more, we need to be happy more, right? And so I think this is the time. I think the energy is going to help us because that to me is what astrology is. These energies are here to help us. They work with us, right? And so I think they kind of are going to help us feel that so that we can be that. Does that make sense to you guys? So I'm going to start on the August 29th. We have, and the reason I'm starting on August 29th is because Venus is going to play a big role. And Venus is more of a personal planet, what we call a personal planet, because, you know, it affects our daily life more than the outer planets, right? And so here we go. So August 29th, we have Venus, who has been in Virgo, being criticized, trying to plan, not being as loose as she likes to be with the gifts and the stuff, and because you know every time she wanted to like be be elaborate, be a bold, be abundant. You know, Virgo was telling her, "Have we planned for that? Have they done that? Did they do it right? Did they did it? You need to really think about this." And even in relationships, have you thought about this? Have you told them that? Have you did like that was Virgo? That's been Virgo. It's Virgo now, right? It's Venus and Virgo being very critical, and you may have seen people that you're very critical of right now. Like maybe I didn't notice that before, but I'm noticing that now, right? And so, oh, it was cold, but now it's getting hot. I think because of the lights. So sorry, I had to take off my jacket. So August 29th, Venus moves into her home sign where she's like, whew, thank God I get to like come in here and relax. I get to like be bountiful. I get to like do my thing. I get to like, I've learned a lot from Virgo and I know what it's like to stay at Virgo's house. You're going to hear me talk like this. I don't talk like most astrologers if you've never seen me. I see them as characters and they have personalities for me. So, um, if you see me, you understand. So, anyway, I just wanted to mention that because if you've never seen me. So, she is going to be so happy, but she is close to that south node. So there is some releasing we're going to be working on this next month in September, but I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not like because even what I'm going to talk about later is that partial lunar eclipse. It's not a harsh separation or just a clipping like eclipses are. It's a partial eclipse, right? So that tells me that the energy of separation or letting go. So you're going to separate, you're going to let go of some things, but it's like very um, agreeable. It's not something you've had to like, at the time, it won't be something that you have to, you know, really be struggling with. It's just something like, oh, well, let me think of something like, almost like I used to go to somewhere on vacation all the time, and then I got to where I couldn't go all the time, and so I got too busy, and then I instead of 3 times a year, began to go 2 times a year, and now I'm going 1 time a year, and now I'm moving to a place I'm really loving. So I'm not going to go to that vacation there because I'm actually living in a place that looks like my vacation, or I'm moving to a place that looks like my vacation, but I'm not going to go to that vacation. So there's a separate, do you understand? There's like a separation, but it's agreeable. It's something nice. It's something that flows. It is letting go, right? That's just an example that I could give you. So, because of that partial full moon, I mean, partial eclipse, I'll talk about that later. But this is about releasing. And if we look back through the summer, and we've had all these starting in spring, we had all these retrogrades, and I talked to you guys about all the retrogrades, when it was coming, when it was going to come, what was going to happen, what was all of that, right? We have worked diligently in this, and my group has done really, really, really well. So you've been prepared for this. Now is the time to actually enjoy. Now is the time where you can be like, that's not even a problem. I already worked on that. Like, yes, I'm letting that go. Yes, I'm closing that chapter. Yes, I'm ending that relationship. And by relationship, it doesn't have to be love. It can be love, but it doesn't have to be love. It can be partnerships, can be whatever. But there's releasing going on because we're ending these retrogrades that you guys have been working so hard for. But guess what? We started preparing for them. We knew what it was coming. When it was coming, we had ideas about what was going to happen. We didn't know for sure, or how it was going to play out, but we knew that things were coming. All of that. This is why I do astrology, because so you can see it. The more educated, the more knowledgeable we are, the easier it is. The easier it is. When those things come, they're not so shocking that they're like hard to process, and you're stunned and you can't do anything about it, and you're stuck in, you feel so stuck. As we've gone through the months, like, we've all had big changes. I had big changes. I had to move to a different state, right? So we've all had our things going on, but we were able to do it. We were courageous, and we were bold, and we had faith in ourselves. And so this is just this is where the planets, some of them, because it's going to be going on for months, but this is the start of, like, as you release, the new stuff comes in. As you release, the new stuff comes in. And this stuff is stuff you've already worked on. You've been doing it all summer. You've been doing it since spring. So congratulations to those people. But this is also why I do astrology, so you can see it. So if you see, I like what we call orbs. I like my space, my degrees at 3 degrees, but even from 8 to 0 degrees together, they're talking to each other, right? So the south node is a point. It's a point. It's an energetic point in the sky, right? And so Venus is coming closer to that. She's relieved that she's in her sign, right? She's relieved that she's in the house of Libra. It's all balanced. It's beautiful. It's luxurious. It's just wonderful. And so she's beginning to feel better. She just moved in. She just came home, right? So she just came home. She still has to unpack. She's going to start relaxing. And she knows at this point she's already talking to, okay, I know what I have to do next. It's about releasing. But as they release, I can gift them some things. Does all that make sense? So I have not had to cough in a couple of days. And then I get on live and I have to cough. I had laryngitis recently, so please forgive me. So, and I forgot to mute the mic. Sorry. So August 29th, Venus moves into what we call ingress Libra. So she moves into her sign. She is talking, or she is activating, she's activating that south node. Now the south node has to do with what we feel comfortable in, what we go to when we're tired, when we don't know what to do, what just makes us feel comfortable, right? So she's going to gift you as she comes closer, and as you release that old, because it's not about releasing all of your south node, it's about balancing your south node and north node. So as you're realizing that you don't need to do that anymore. You're not in that space, or you don't need that place, or you don't need that job, or you don't need that relationship, or you don't, whatever this is for you, as you come to terms and you release that in peace, she is going to be gifting you, especially because she's in her home sign. Okay. So look for that in like the next week or so, because to me, energy doesn't stop or start. So these dates are just when these things are like exact or almost exact, but you'll start feeling the energy before and after. Okay. And then we move to the first. And on the first, we have Uranus going retrograde. And Uranus is in Taurus. Now, from the 20th degree, I said Uranus was going to start doing some things. And she has. Uranus has. Uranus likes to shock and awe. But at this 27 degree in retrograde, it's going to go back over those points. So the things that have happened in this last 2 months, maybe 3 months, on a global scale, those things are going to come back around. So we're going to see a little bit more of that. That's why I was saying on the global scale, you're going to see some stuff, but in our personal lives, we're getting like some release. Also, when we see the stuff on the global scale, this is the time for it to release. So there is going to be some completions. And the reason that I can say that is because Pluto is going into Capricorn at 29 degrees. And then Neptune's going to be at 28 and 29 degrees. And then like we have some finishing of stuff, okay? On a global scale. And then on personal, so here's the thing. It will affect you if you have a planet here at the 27 degree of Uranus, right? It will also affect you. Yeah. So if you have the 27 degree of Taurus, if you have a planet there, if something hasn't finished by the time September comes, you're going to have to rework this or work this. It's going to become internal instead of external, right? Because it's going retrograde. And then we're going to go back over these things that have happened. But if you have been diligent, like you have, you're my group, I wouldn't worry about it shocking and awing. I wouldn't even worry about it. What I would say is you're going to so understand it that it's going to shock you. You're going to be like, oh my God, really? I should have done this a while back. Or, oh my God, I see it clearly now. Or, oh my God, like it's that kind of shock and awe. It's internal, right? Hey, sister. So we have Uranus going retrograde, and it's going to be at 27 degrees. It does go retrograde at 8 a.m. Pacific time, so you guys can kind of calculate for that. Now, we're going to be working through this Uranus till January 30th, 2025, right? So it's going to be a while that we're going to be working, that it's going to go back over these degrees, and then it's going to come back over here, okay? And then I will talk in depth about Uranus doing that, because somebody had asked me how long do we have for Uranus in my other live, and so it's going to be it's going to be like 4 months. So we have that going on, but honestly, that's like not, and see how it's trining Pluto. So the things that you have been working on, see that? The things that you have been working on, it's already talking to Pluto. It's like, what have they done? So if you've seen me before, you know that Pluto was having a conversation with all of these planets. And this is where he has, like, it's a trine. So it's an easy energy for you guys. It's an easy energy for all of us, right? It's just going to be internalized. And Pluto is like going to bring about the movement. So let's just say you have been working on finding a new job, right? And it hasn't been easy, and you've been working on it, and then Mercury retrograde came, and then, you missed some phone calls, you missed some emails, blah, 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 all of that, right? Well, when this happens, but what you don't know is that this is a scenario. What you don't know is that job is going to change your life for the better. and you did all the hard work. And so when this happens, Uranus kind of makes that way with Pluto for you to get the job. And then you realize, oh my God, this is way bigger than I thought. And my life has changed when you look back on it, right? Thank you, sister, for saying to like this video and share. I appreciate that. And thank you for giving me the hearts. So that's going to be going on. So that's on the first. On the second, and that was in Aquarius, but on the second, this is the big thing. Pluto goes back, so it's been retrograde. It was showing us what we're trying to decide. So it goes back into Capricorn on the second, right? And so on the second, it is going to be there at the 29th degree. So if you have a planet, or if you have your ascending at 29 degrees of Capricorn, you Capricorns, over the 16 years that y'all have been lost, structures came down, your life's changed, this is the time where it is going to gift you. This is the time. If you have done the work, if you have understood yourself, if you have decided which structures to keep and which structures not to keep, if you have that new perception of the world that's coming to be, this is where it's going to gift you. And I can say that it's going to start there, right? It's going to be exact at a certain point. I'm going to tell you in just a minute. But this, for all of us, for anybody that has a planet at the 29 degree of Capricorn, you don't have to be Capricorn, just a planet there, even a personal, if you have Venus there, if you have Mars there, whatever this is, you're going to be gifted some stuff. And this is from the long haul of the 16 years that have been going on, right? I know 29 degrees. That's kind of why I wanted you guys to check your charts. If you have a planet there, or if it's like your midheaven, or so your MC, it would be at the top of your chart, like your 10th house, 9th, 10th house, and then you're ascending. Look at that. If it's over on the descending, you're looking at relationship stuff, right? But for all of us, this is going to be the last time that Pluto is going to be in Capricorn in our lifetimes. And I have done a Pluto series. I am not done with the Pluto series, but I have like 6 videos, so 6 houses out. You might want to check out my Pluto series because I'm telling you how Pluto works and then how it works in each house. And this Pluto has to do with past lives, has to do with future lives, right? So I just want everybody to be aware that it will be at the 29th degree. All the way until October 11th. And October 11th is when it stations direct. So it's still going to be in Capricorn, but it's going to station direct, right? And then it goes, so meaning it goes forward again, it goes direct. And then on November 19th, some of you guys 20, some of you guys 18. It kind of depends on where you are in the world. On November 19th at 2:16 p.m. my time, which is Pacific time, that is when Pluto leaves Capricorn. So we get all the gifts, we get all the structures revamped. The ones that need to crumble have crumbled. The ones that need to change have changed. And then we are moving into Aquarius, and get ready because y'all already saw a little bit of Aquarius. And we're going to be doing that for the next 19, 20 years, right? So on a global scale, societal scale, so let me just say the structures, the systems. We're going to be seeing a lot of we've already saw a lot of changes over the last 16 years, but the things that people have been talking about, the things that astrologers have been talking about, the things that financially the banks have been talking about, the crypto has been talking about, the healthcare has been talking about, the teacher, all the systems, all the structures. This is the time from September 2nd, and you guys, again, it doesn't just start in September, it's already starting. September 2nd till November 20th, this is when all the structures that hadn't come down will come down. And I've told you before, even if it's the ones that you don't think could ever come down, will come down if they need to come down. Or they change, they adjust. because we're moving into a new space of Aquarian, and Saturn rules both Aquarius and Capricorn, so they can work together. They like each other. So we're moving from the structure, bringing whatever structures we decide on a societal scale to move into this Aquarius, which is we the people. In a Capricorn, it was we the structures, we the system, we the capitalists, we all of that. We're moving into an area where it's we the people. And I talked a little bit about that in my last live about how come all those things were so important. Um, and so just know that that's going to be happening for you, Capricorns. You are going to be gifted. Like, over the years, the Capricorns I've seen have lost a lot. Like, people, their homes, their businesses. They've been millionaires to zero. I mean, they just lost a lot, a lot. Okay. And so this is the time that you've already been through that. You understand that you've been through that. You are going to be gifted. And I'm so happy for you. I love, love, love Capricorn. My daughter is a double Capricorn. She's Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Ascending. My husband was a Capricorn. So love, love, love Capricorn. And I have been rooting for y'all for these 16 years. And I am so happy for you guys. But not just that, you earth signs are going to be gifted as well. So we all are, and especially if you have the planets there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys have had it rough, like really rough over the years. Um, and I've had clients for, 20 something years. So, I've watched it, I've seen it, it's happened. Right. And so then November is when we move into Aquarius. And again, we'll be talking about that. And I've got a video series already on that you want to go look at. Now, moving on. So see, that's just September. Um, and see, I'm already talking about gifts. I'm already talking about things. So it's going to be a great month for everybody. But let me just say, it's going to be a great month for my group. And if you know me, because we have been preparing for this, right? And and we don't get it all at once, right? Because how boring would that be in life if you got it all at once, right? So we're going to get it spread out. So it's like September, October, November, December, January, February. Like, we're just going to keep going. I am so happy for us. Um, okay. So September 3rd, this is where they go exact. We've already talked about what this means, the South Node with Venus. There's something that you're releasing, and because it's Venus, I feel like it could be like something, an old way that you understand better now, a thing that you're not doing to make yourself have so much anxiety or keep yourself from abundance, or it's like you realize that this thing that you do all the time that you don't even know where it came from because it's your South Node, it used to make you feel comfortable, and you began to understand that was actually holding you back. Like, it kept you comfortable where you used to be, but where you are now is very different. And so you realize that that's no longer keeping you comfortable. That's actually holding you back from abundance, from relationships, from people, money, business, travel, whatever that is for you guys. Um, and so I feel like when they go exact here, there's going to be some releasing. And then as you release, you're going to feel better. And I feel like you understand yourself better and you navigate easier. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's going to be happening. Also, I want to mention on September 2nd, though, that we do have the new moon in Virgo. Okay, so new moon in Virgo on September 2nd. I'll do a new moon video. September 2nd, we have the new moon in Virgo. This is going to be a good new moon, again, for earth signs, right? So these things, isn't it funny how the universe works? We're releasing something, and then the new moon is like there to catch that new energy of bringing something in. I feel like, especially with this Pluto, especially with what's going on, is you're going to be gifted some things, even in this new moon. Like, it's finally that time for the manifestation. And then we're going to move on to September 4th. And September 4th, this would be the only, and I don't even think it's a bad thing, but it's not really a bad thing. This would be the only thing, if anything, is going to kind of, uh, if anything is going to kind of make you go, ooh, it would be this. And this is kind of it. Mars is going to go into Cancer. But honestly, I don't even think that's a bad thing, right? Because Mars has been running amok. We have been with attitudes and anger issues and all kinds of stuff as Mars has been doing his thing. And now he's going to go into Cancer on September 4th, which is going to calm everything down. Just like my grandbaby throwing a fit, right? The Mars energy, that aggressive energy. It's everything's going to calm down, and we're going to be in the receiving mode. We're going to be a lot better, and we're going to be deepening in Cancer, uh, just how we feel and who we want around us, as in family. You can get really protective over your family when Mars goes into Cancer like this, but Mars can't run amok. Mars has to kind of calm his little butt down, right? And so I think he focuses that energy so that Cancer's heart like really deepens for the things that you have around you. So wherever your Cancer is, like Cancer's in my fourth or fifth house, I think. And so the creativity can get better. If it's relationship, your relationship can deepen. If it's, your 10th house, your job, you get better at it and people can see you and you just know it better. Your first house, it's people really want to know you and you're deepening yourself, of your understanding of your place in this world. Like it's stuff like that, right? And so again, that would be kind of the only thing, but that's not even a bad thing. That's just a deepening of stuff, a development of stuff, right? And then on the 8th, Mercury goes into Virgo. So Mercury's going to go into Virgo, where it had been, and then it went retrograde, right? And then it finally goes back, and it is about to be out of shadow, but it goes into Virgo where it's going to feel a lot better. The retrograde itself, you're going to be able to begin to like sign those contracts, do those things, but it doesn't get out of shadow until the 12th. So I always like it even a couple of days after the 12th when Mercury retrogrades, just to be safe, right? But it's going to be more external. So things are going to be happening outside of you instead of inside of you. All summer it's been about inside of us. Let's get clear. Let's decide. Let's do blah blah blah. Now this is another thing that shows like it's all going to be outside. The communication's going to flow better. Um, if it's a little critical, it will be done nicely, in a nice way. It's not going to hurt somebody's feelings. You're not going to hurt the people aren't going to hurt your feelings. It's just going to be better. And it's all going to show externally. So then again, on the 12th is where it moves out of shadow. That's where you're clear. If you follow the retrograde Mercury, that's kind of where you're clear to like go ahead and start doing it, start signing, starting the new stuff, start all of that, right? But this new moon in Virgo is going to kind of help you start new stuff anyway. Like you'll start it, but maybe you won't have to sign a contract till the 14th or the 16th or whatever, right? So that will be happening on the 12th. So on the 14th, Venus, where's Venus? Is at 20 degrees. And Jupiter is at 20 degrees. Now, Venus is money, abundance, luxury, beauty, things we want, things we love, things we see, right? And Jupiter is expansion and growth and abundance and understanding and wisdom and all of that. And to me, that day says things are just gonna flow for you. Like you're gonna find yourself at the right place at the right time and be gifted some things, be given some money. Some of you could like find money in your bank account automatically, or some of you could like, go to the casino and win some money, or like this is a really pretty day. But because of the trine with Venus, and Venus being in its home sign, and Jupiter. This has something to do like with news of abundance of money, of yes, that contract went through, yes, I got that job, yes, I'm getting to travel on vacation, yes, I get to go see blah blah blah, yes, I get to be with mama, whatever. I think this is a great day. So, but that tells me, because that planet's so big, Jupiter, that you are going to see results of that. You're going to see results of that. The 14th is a beautiful, beautiful day. Uh, and I see money and gifts. I see abundance. I see great understanding. I see a beautiful time with the people around you. I see you and them being gifted. Like, it's just a good, good energy. It's like, ooh, we're finally relaxing. Mercury's out of retrograde. We're out of the shadow. We're seeing some things that are happening about. Um, and so this is going to prepare us all, because then on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you're at, this is going to be a partial lunar eclipse. So a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces at 25 degrees. So we're going to have this partial lunar eclipse. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? Yes, thank you for subscribing, liking the live stream, and giving me some hearts. I appreciate it. On the 17th or 18th, wherever you're at in the world, we are having a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, it's a little different because we're still, the North Node, South Node axis are in Aries, and I can't think of the name. Aries and Libra, sorry. So Aries and Libra, but because it's a partial lunar eclipse, this is why I feel like whatever endings, and lunar eclipses are about endings, it's not going to be such a clipped. It's not going to be like a separation or a loss that you're really going to feel bad about, like, or it's really going to hurt. This is going to be really gentle. This is going to be like you've already come to terms with it. This is going to be like, it's not like, oh, this is better for me anyway. It's like, I'm glad this is just better for me, right? It's like that. It's a very gentle, partial lunar eclipse, right? And this is the start of eclipse season. So we get this partial eclipse that's going to be really gentle. I would call it agreeable. Like, it's going to be agreeable, right? And it's in Pisces. Now, because the North Node doesn't even go into Pisces till 2025. So this is the start of the lunar eclipse. So it'll be really subtle. And if you have any planets at 25 degrees, you're going to feel this the most. So immutable signs. So for those of you that don't know mutable signs, it's Pisces, Gemini, Sag, and Virgo. Okay. Those you're going to feel like you're just gonna understand, know, agree with. That time is gone. I'm letting that go. Thank God I'm not there anymore. I'm in such a better place. Like, you're gonna have that kind of thing going on, right? And so that will be happening on the 17th. And you guys, it won't be happening right on the 17th or 18th. You guys know with eclipses, it's 4 to 6 months, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, as we move into the next months, October, November, December, January, February, like, it's all going to be just getting better. It just feels better. It's just like, oh gosh, I'm so not there anymore. I'm like, and you're saying that not just internally, because you're seeing it on the outside. That's what I'm getting. That's why I was so excited, right? So, and then I'm going to go over I'm going to do a whole thing over the lunar eclipse, because I need to talk about how, as soon as you release, hi Wendy, how are you? Six peeps haven't liked this session yet. Mom Otto, she'll get after y'all. Oh, oh, she's so funny. Hi Wendy, thanks for coming. Oh my God. I know, a long time. I told you guys, I've had people that have been following me that are my clients for a long time, like decades. So, anyway, and that people are finding me again because I'm back on YouTube. Uh, and that's like, I'm doing 3 lives a week, and I'm releasing a video almost every day except for Sunday, I think. Um, So I'm working hard too. See, I've been working hard all retrograde long, just like y'all have. That's why I'm excited for us because it's just gonna get easier. It's just gonna get easier. So, um, what was I saying? Okay, so I'm gonna do a lunar eclipse later video because as we release, look at this. As we release on, let me look. Let me get y'all on the right date. I'm gonna go to the 17th, 18th. Okay. As see that full moon, that's where the eclipse is, right? As we release, because this is within the orbs, right? The eclipse. As we release um, this moon, as we release this moon, the moon, you know how fast the moon goes, right? And so it starts and it begins to come over this north node. So it moves after it releases, after you release, it moves into where you're going. That just reminds me, guys. Thank you so much, Eagle, if you see this later, for donating. You guys always support me, but I just want to bring up people that donate to me. I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you, Kathy, because there's like 6 Kathys. I had the name Kathy Cullen. Kathy. So hold on just a second. Thank you for donating. For those of you that buy me coffee, I really appreciate it. It helps me keep this alive because I turned off my AdSense during the pandemic, and like I don't get any money for any of this. I am going to start my membership, and you guys know that. Yes, you. That's right. You changed your name. That's right, Kathy. I know, grandbaby. So anyway, I just want to say thank you, Mom Otto. Thank you, Aries Live, Saves Lives. Thank you. I know I said that to you already, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for helping me continue to do my work and the work that I love. If it wasn't for you guys who book with me, who come see me, who come work with me, who donate, I just love you. I can't do it without you. And that's what we're moving into, is understanding that all of us, we can do those things. It's working harder unnecessarily, and we're moving into groups, right? So I just want to say thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. So moving back into this, there was something else I wanted to say too, but I can't remember. So moving into getting back to this, when you see this is what I wanted to show you guys. As you're releasing in this partial lunar eclipse, you're moving to the north node, which is where we're like going. That's where we want to go. Like that's, remember when we went through the Aries thing? Remember when we went through that portal? Yes, I am open for sessions. You'll have to email me to yourpath39@gmail. You'll have to email me. I'll have to talk later about why I shut down my website too. I mean, like I shut it all down during the pandemic. I told you guys I was so angry at the time. Y'all remind me to talk about the mpox that's coming, or that's already here and whatever. Because I talked about it the other night, but in case you didn't see it, I want to mention it again because we're stopping this. We're not gonna let it happen. We're not gonna let what happened last time happen this time. We're just not. Period. The end. Right? That's my sad side. Period. The end. Anyway, so I just want you guys to know, as you're releasing, you're going into this north node. We're moving into the portal again, and it's the next phase. And the next phase, because you already are understanding your identity, which is what we were in the Aries, right? When we went through that portal, it's like now it's starting to gift. Now, like Aries is like, what are you going to release? That's what happened then. Now it's like, what are we going to gift you for releasing, for understanding, for identifying, for being clear about how you want to identify, for being clear about the people that you want around you. Because for so long we had to have people around us, whether it was work, our career, travel, whatever. You know, society was like, you must do it this way. And we were like, okay, because we were so tired. But now we're in a different space. And we've worked on this for this last year. Who are we? What are we in that? We still have a lot more work to do. But that doesn't mean that we can't laugh and we can't enjoy. That's what Spirit's been telling me. That's what my higher self has been telling me. You can enjoy the ride, Cindi. You're not in those past lives and you're not in the future life. You're in this life. You don't have to go to war. You don't have to do that thing because you guys know that if you've seen me, you know, like one of my lives was a soldier, right? Like you don't have to be so actually a couple of my lives were soldiers. You don't have to be so serious. You can enjoy this ride. You can enjoy the learning. You can enjoy the lessons. You don't have to always be like so serious. So, um, we're moving into now that we're identifying. Now, this is where that North Node, we're moving into that. And as we're releasing, remember I told you guys a long time ago, as we release stuff and don't have to carry the baggage with Pluto for lifetimes and in our generations and in our DNA, there's going to be, depending on how much you, over this last year, I'll say over this last 4 years, depending, and five, I'll include five because some of you started before it all happened. Um, Depending on how much you invested in yourself, learned about yourself, released some things about yourself, understood your identity, moved and had faith. And I'm not saying we're all perfect at it right now. I'm just saying the more that you've done this, the more you are going to have the room to be able to carry your new life, your new abundance, your new happiness, your new joy. That's where this North Node is taking us, right? So I just want you to know that even though it's a partial lunar eclipse, it's going to be very soft, subtle, agreeable. And as you're doing that, we're moving into this North Node where things are going to change. And I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as like things coming in for you, right? So that's going to be happening on the 17th, 18th, on the 19th. So y'all thought I loved the 14th. Wait till you see the 19th. So on the 19th, remember, Pluto. You don't have to be afraid of Pluto. We've been talking about Pluto. I've been helping you understand about Pluto. Yes, we're going to go through some changes, but we already understand about that. We've already understood ourselves better, right? And so he's in retrograde at this time, but there is a grand trine happening. And the reason I know it's gifts is because we are right at the end. And I just talked about this earlier. You earth signs, whew, it's about time. I am so happy for you earth signs, for all of us, because it's going to happen to all of us, right? But you've got Pluto retrograde. So to me, that retrograde in this instant, when I'm looking at that trine and I'm feeling the energy, that retrograde means that past thing that you have worked on internally, the stuff that happened to you on the outside that you had to internalize and get through, is coming back around to gift you. Like you're going to see the results of that, right? And how do I know this even more? Because Uranus is retrograde and he is talking to Pluto and he's like, it's time. It's time to make them bigger. It's time to, they have done the work. They have put up with all this stuff. They have done it, right? And why I know you're going to get it is because it's the grand trine with the sun. So you earth signs are really going to feel this. Anybody that has a 29 degree, a planet at 29 degrees in Pluto, in Capricorn, is really going to feel it. And you Capricorns are going to feel it. You Virgos are going to feel it because you Virgos have had it hard these last couple of years. And you Taurus, like all you earth signs have done the work. Yes, y'all were stubborn at first, but we all are, right? And y'all were really, really stubborn because you're earth signs. But you have gone through it and you do what earth signs do. You put your foot down and you get through it. And that's what you've done. And I want to say that that trine, that grand trine, is that flowing energy where you're finally not getting in your own way. And Pluto and Uranus and the sun. The sun wants you to shine. And Pluto and Uranus want to gift you what you have worked so hard for. So will it happen on the 19th? Not for everybody. It'll happen before and after because, again, energy doesn't stop and start, right? And so for some of you, I would look for this in the next like couple of weeks, like things to happen. And I want you guys to come back when we do astrology and tell me what's going on. I'm excited for you guys. I have been with a lot of you for many years who are earth signs, and I've seen you go through a lot. Like even in the last 20 years, my husband didn't make it. Like he's an earth sign, right? So we've had a lot of losses. Things have really shifted. And I feel on a global scale, these structures, there's going to be some new good structure coming in. I feel like that. I feel like we're finally going to say, we the people, and have something solidified for us. Does that make sense? So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of this. And I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. So did you see where it started way back in the 15th? But then it just gets stronger here, right? So it just gets really strong. So you're going to feel that energy. We all are for a while, for a minute. Like we really get to feel this trine, right? And so on the 28th, this is when Pluto sextiles Neptune. So on the 28th, and they're both retrograde. So there is something, and this is all a part of your releasing. This is all a part of your understanding. In this instant, I don't feel like releasing is a bad thing. I just don't feel like you're going to have a problem with these releases. I just feel like you're like, yes, thank God it's gone. Oh my God, I'm over that. Oh God, dude. Like I feel like you're at peace with this stuff and you're happier with this stuff. And so there's a sextile, which is a good aspect, right? So it could be that you, for a second, see something. I guess I'll use the old term, like with rose-colored glasses, but then Pluto, because you have learned, you're like, oh, no. That looked like that, but now I see the realization of it, right? And so I feel like you get really good understanding. Something clears up that was not clear before for you. So that could be, I don't know, like in a good way, I see that, oh, I thought I didn't get that job. And then all of a sudden they call you for that job. Or I thought I wasn't going to be able to go, to across the world or to Europe or to Asia or to wherever to travel. And now I do. If you're in Europe, I thought I wasn't going to be able to go to America if you guys want to come, but, or to Asia or wherever. And it like clears up and you're like, get this, right? Or it could be like, oh, I thought they didn't like me, and then you get this position, like it just kind of depends on where it's at, but it's a sextile, so there is a choice you have to make with it because with sextiles you have to make a choice, but it's a good thing. It's not like anything that you're having to struggle with. It's like, am I going to see this clearly? And in the past I wouldn't have seen it clearly, and today I can kind of realize that I've grown because I see it clearly. Does that make sense to you guys? It's very exciting. And then the last two things I want to say is on the 22nd, I'll take you back to the 22nd. So, first of all, before I say this, I want to say happy birthday, Virgos. Okay. My grandson's a Virgo. So happy birthday, Virgos. This is Virgo season now. You guys know I love Virgos too. My South Node is Virgo. I feel very comfortable with Virgo energy. I love to plan. I love to organize. When I was younger, I used to love to criticize. I've gotten better. Anyway, so happy birthday, Virgo. We will have Virgo season until the 22nd. The 22nd is when the sun enters Libra, and then it's going to be all about balancing, and it is going to be a lighter energy. It's air energy, right? And I'll do some videos about that later on this next month. But the other thing I want to tell you guys about is this Venus. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, this Venus-Pluto square. Okay. So on the 22nd, you're going to have this Venus-Pluto square. Now, Venus is direct, and she is in her home sign and she's having a good time, but it is at 29 degrees, right? And again, he's still going to be talking to Uranus. So I do see some movement because this is what we consider a harder aspect. I don't think it is for you guys. You guys are well informed. I do see that maybe, you know, with Venus squaring Pluto, Pluto likes to bring out what you should like let go of, what you should. But this one isn't like new. This is like an ongoing past thing. It's a bigger energy. It's almost like, why do I do that? Why do I always do that? I want to change that. Why does that always happen with my money? Why does that always happen with my jobs? Why does that always happen with relationships? Why did it's like that? And if you've been working on that and understanding that, this is where you can have a closing of that. You can have an ending of like, I just don't do that anymore. I'm in such a better space. Like that used to be me. Like I just said, when I was younger, I used to like to criticize, right? Didn't know I was doing it. It was just part of who I was because it's my South Node. But then I understood it about it, and now I'm way better about it, right? So it's like that. It's like this understanding, and you're better about it. Um, and let me give you the second part. If because I'm not young anymore, and I'm not critical anymore, and I know how to use my words wisely now, it's like uh, you get better. Um, what's that old saying with honey? You attract more flies with honey, right? So you attract more flies with honey. So me being better at that, I attract more flies with honey, right? I can have what I want. I can get what I want. Um, and know that it's like balanced in between me and that other person or whatever. Does that all make sense? It's like that. It's like you have this understanding, right? A hindrance becomes a gift through maturity. Perfect. Thank you. You guys know when I start struggling, I'm like, what are the words? Because we're in Mercury retrograde. Oh, and if Mercury wasn't in Leo, I wouldn't be having such a hard time. Y'all know Leo is my seventh house. So I'm really having a hard time. That's like group. That's like partners. That's like my relationships with you guys, right? So it's really hard for me right now. Anyway, thank you for getting that through. So that's all that's going to be going on. I will be doing a couple of videos about the new moon and then the eclipse because I want to explain that better, and then the Grand Trine, right? So, and then even the months coming after. Like I'm so excited. The other thing before I forget, it can be a little chaotic. So I was born with a whole bunch of retrogrades. You guys have seen, and I've talked about this for years, right? So I think I was born with 7 retrogrades, 6 retrogrades. So I can handle. I don't like it, but I can handle it. But to me, if I could explain it to you guys, when Mercury goes retrograde like that, and then all these planets go retrograde like that, it's like as the energy releases and as they start going direct and as things start to flow, it's almost like when you're pushing something really hard and somebody's on the other, like if you're pushing a door real hard and then somebody on the other side is pushing the door back at you, and then all of a sudden they release it and you like stumble. That's what this energy is right now, that we're like that we're feeling, because it's starting to release and we kind of got a misstep. So in reality it may feel a little chaotic. It's like, why am I so in chaos with, I'm used to doing this stuff, but for some reason I feel like it's too much, or I feel like it's going too fast, or it's because you're getting back into the flow of energy. Does that make sense to everybody? The other thing I want to tell you guys, because even though we're looking to the future, we still have right now. we want to stay in the present, right? It's okay to look to the future. Don't stay in the future. We want to look in the present. We want to be in our present, right? And so you guys know what's been coming up with the impox. And I have to be very careful about the words that I use. So you guys know me, and you can read between the lines. But what I will tell you guys is we talked about this the other night. Us, source, our higher selves, love, God, whatever, universe, Mother Earth, has given us everything that we need on this planet to live. If we have a misalignment, some people might call that an ailment. Some people might call that disease. Mother Earth has something for it. They don't want you to know this. Okay. So I'm going to say it this way. If I were to have Mpox, or if Mpox was around my town, my city, wherever you're at, or wherever I'm at, I would get the purple pitcher plant. Now, you don't have to believe me, and please understand my background was in the medical field in research. So anything that I say, it's not speaking out of my, you know what? There's evidence behind it. That's kind of how I've always worked. You can go to the NIH and look. It's in plain sight. But if anybody wants to tell the WHO that they can go to the NIH and look, they're welcome to, so that they don't try to. We're just not going to have what we had last time. We're better about it, right? So, does that make sense to everybody? We are going to do our part as our group to stop this. Okay? Now, I know we're very little in this big, big world, but we already have evidence of that too, right? And I'm going to try to get extra because I know there are people that just, they'll know the information. They're just like, I don't have time. I'd rather somebody else do it. So I'm going to do my best to have extra. And then I will bring that to you guys and give you the option, right? Because there's several ways that I would. So I'm not even going to tell you that. I'm even going to tell you this part. There's several ways that I would apply this. I would take a tincture of this, and I would also have a salve, right? Or an oil for it. Because we're talking about blisters and lesions and stuff, right? So even if we are few, as above, so below, we got this. Yes, that's what I was saying before. There's already proof of that. You know, I can't think of the book right now, but I've shown you all the book over the years. Just one of us at the resonance of integrity and authenticity. Let me just say authenticity, not integrity. Just one of us at the resonance of unconditional love is like one of us can change 100,000 people's resonance. And it's not that we change it, it's that they want to resonate to that, right? So authenticity is 4,000 times bigger than unconditional love or enlightenment, right? And so I still haven't been able to do the video on that, but there is evidence of that now. So just know that even though we're a small little group and we're going to get bigger, because we're going to get bigger, we just are, that our little group will do our part. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? As usual, I want to remind you, we've already proven in our life that we can do things on our own. It wasn't easy. We have not had it easy, but we've already proven that. We've already mastered that. We are now moving into a space where what we haven't mastered is being able to do it together in a group and keep our anonymity, right? And so that's where we're moving to. That's why I want to say this is so special, because you guys are already doing this with me. We're already moving into that space where we're like understanding, yes, we're not the only group, but we're a group. And as we get bigger, we're going to learn how to do this, how to lean one another. I said this the other day. I know what I'm asking. I am asking my group, who has always had to do things alone and be independent, to not do that, to lean, to know that there are other people. It's very different. I know what I'm asking, but we can do this. And it's going to be a 20-year cycle, and it is going to take some time, but y'all are already like doing it. Y'all just getting me to the 3,000, just coming in on your lives, even though you got to work tomorrow. I mean, Lorna comes in. There's so many of you that will come in and you got to work in the morning. I just wanted to say hi. Thank you. You know, all of that. Those of you that donate and give to me, those of you that get private readings so that I can continue my work, so that, because y'all heard my big dream Remember, I said this the other night if you were with me. My big dream is to get land. And I'm already in the state I want to be in. I just got to get the land, build the thing, and then y'all can come. That's what I want to do. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it. All the shares. I didn't realize you guys were sharing so much. I got my analytics the other day and I was like, what? Thank you so much. So those that are like Rodney that comes from TikTok, you know, that I don't even do anything on TikTok. TikTok's just entertainment for me. And I support a lot of people, and Rodney was just like, I want to come support you. So the fact that he would show up and, you know, come and share and like and participate, right? So anyway, I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so very much. I will see you on Saturday. Bye.